Hello Prim.5, let's study our story Grace Darling, Chapter 6, Out of the Window. Let's see the main point of this chapter. At 22:05 that morning, Grace felt a hand on her face. It was her mother. The wind was screaming and shaking the big windows. It was much quieter in her room because of the strong stone walls. Grace got up slowly and went downstairs to her bedroom. Grace wanted to look at the sea before going to the bed. Grace heard a mysterious voice in her head. The voice said, "Go to the window, Grace. Go and look out." Grace saw a ship in the sea. Let's see the question for this chapter. Let's start 1. What did Grace feel a hand? When did Grace feel a hand on her face? At 22:05 that morning. When did Grace feel a hand on her face? At 22:05 that morning. How was the wind? It was screaming and shaking the big windows. It was screaming and shaking the big windows. What did Thompson ask Grace to do? She asked her to go to bed. She asked her to go to bed. Why was Grace's room much quieter? It was much quieter in her room because of the strong stone walls. Because of the strong stone walls. How did the bed look? It looked warm and comfortable. It looked warm and comfortable. Complete. Grace was nearly asleep. Grace was nearly asleep. The windows screaming and shaking, the big windows, and Thompson, darling, had to shout. She had to shout. I can look after the lantern now. I can look after the lantern now. Grace got up slowly and went downstairs to her bedroom. She went downstairs to her bedroom. She looked at the bird's eggs. She looked at the bird's eggs on her table. She smiled and get undressed. She smiled and get undressed. Let's complete. What did Grace want to do before going to bed? She wanted to look at the sea. She wanted to look at the sea. Why could she see nothing? She could see nothing because of the salt and rain on the glass. Because of the salt and rain on the glass. What did Grace hear before she went to bed? She heard a mysterious voice. She heard a mysterious voice. What did the voice say? Go to the window. Go and look out. Go to the window. Go and look out. How was the sea? It was wild, frightened, and terrible. It was wild, frightened, and terrible. What did Grace see? She saw the ship. She saw the ship. Where was the ship? It was on her car's rock. It was on her car's rock. Yes, complete. The wind blew strongly. The wind blew strongly into the room. Most of the rocks and small islands were underwater. Most of the rocks and small islands were underwater. The ship was about 3 meters away to southwest. Let's complete. What did William take from his pocket? He took a telescope from his pocket. He took a telescope from his pocket. Did Grace see the people? No, she didn't. Did Grace see people? No, she didn't. Why did Thompson see? It was better not to see anyone because she saw that the boys aren't here, and if there are people alive on ship now, no one would be able to save them. What did Grace answer her mother? She answered her mother saying that she could go with him. She could go with him. They mustn't stop looking. What did Grace and her parents watch through a telescope? They watched the wreck of Forfarshire. They watched the wreck of Forfarshire, but they saw no people, only rain and waves. Complete. Her father took a telescope from his pocket. Her father took a telescope from his pocket. White water crashed over the wreck. White water crashed over the wreck. They saw no people, only rain and waves. They saw no people, only rain and waves, and a broken in the wild sea. They saw no people, only rain and waves. They saw no people, only rain and waves, and broken in the wild sea. And that's all for today, and thank you.